Welcome back to Writing Done Right. Well, today we're going to go back to another brief tutorial on LibreOffice. This is going to be a very simple one, but something that could frustrate some people if you get lost into where you changed what. We're going to talk about style overrides. So welcome back to the channel. I am Tom Morosky, an author and a technology consultant, and the purpose of our channel is to teach you how to do all of the odds and ends of getting your books ready to be distributed. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the free and open source platform LibreOffice, which I use to do all of my typesetting, and we're going to talk about how to do some manual style overrides, when do you do it, why you do it, and how you reverse it, because they can be frustrating if you've forgotten how you do that. And so obviously LibreOffice is extremely powerful. And if you know or have ever had the experience of somebody who's not quite as experienced with any form of word processing software, where they're trying to do things like where you should do a tab and you do space, 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 or you shouldn't even do a tab at all. You should use the styles to set an indent on your paragraphs and your style settings. Then you know that you get all sorts of little characters added inside the document. You never, ever, ever want to do that in typesetting, because any of those things will be shown as misprints or errors or something else that the printer is going to foul up on, and it could cause an error. It could cause an error in your printing and how you want your book to look. And so with this, you want to always use your styles, your page styles, your paragraph styles, then your character styles. And the last thing you might want to do is you might have a need to do a override. So the overrides are actually done in the formatting menus, and these will override even the lowest level character settings. So if you think of how these go, they kind of cascade in a priority. Whatever you do to it immediately overrides whatever the character says. Whatever the character says will override whatever the paragraph says. Whatever the paragraph says will override whatever the page says. So you have a hierarchy of importance. So you always start with the page level first, and then the then the paragraph layer, and then the character layer, and then you do a style override. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump on over, and I'm going to show you how to do an override, when to do an override, and how to reverse an override should you need to do that. So we're going to jump on over to the computer for the rest of this video. Okay, so here we are over on the computer, and we are working here with the typesetting document on Synaptergy. And what we're going to just kind of show you is just kind of a brief refresher looking at all the different styles. And remember that the styles will kind of overwrite each other in certain directions. So my overall page style is set to be a like 5.5 by 8.5 page or whatever. Those are set inside of your page styles here. And on my page styles, I have this is a right page, this is a left page. If we were to actually look at the page styles, we can see this is a 5-inch wide by 8-inch high. We have margins set up just like that. Now, you can see here that I have these indents. These are not done with spaces or tabs or anything like that. We are doing that on our paragraph styles. So each of these main paragraph styles here say text body. And if I modify my paragraph style here, then looking at indents and spacing, you can see my first line, I have a 0.3 inch. There's a before text and an after text indents. So these are kind of going to be directing, just kind of directing some other spacing in the document. You can do that too. Basically, I'll bring in the indentations here a little bit from the margins. This allows me to drop my page numbers out a little bit further. So I can do, if I were to do something like this, then I would make my page a little bit tighter. Hit the apply, you can see how those jumped it out a little bit closer to the edge of the margins there. All right, so I'm going to keep those right back how they were so I don't forget about that. So those are our paragraph styles. Now we also have character styles. So a character style is where I can actually look at an individual character style here, and I could do something specifically with it. Since this actually came from one of my other templates, I have this character style, a Bible verse, which calls a specific font and then sets it as an indent, things like that. We also have like a drop caps. We have, there's just an example text. There's a quotation text. So there's a lot of different things you can do inside of your character style. So oftentimes if it's a consistent thing, like for example, when I'm doing my Christian works, I'll have a lot of Bible verses through there. I have a text style for Bible verses so I can set something in that particular style in the middle of a text. But if you only have an occasional thing, particularly things like italicizing certain words or whatever else, those are very simple, very easy, and just kind of known as your common changes up here. But what you can do that's not just bold or italics or underline, your kind of basic stuff, is you can actually do an override on the character styles for a block of text. Okay, so let's go ahead and go up to my title page and kind of show you that, because I was thinking about experimenting with this and for the page here. So this guy here is, let's see if I can figure out what style we are. It says it's on a copyright page, and it looks like I just kind of overwrote the text there. Now, if you want to override this and have some type of style that is not specifically applied to my paragraph or character style, for whatever reason you're looking at doing that, if you head on up into your format menu up here, we actually have a variety of different things. So inside of this, we have a character format, a paragraph format, a page format. These here will override whatever the current styles happen to be. So if I do a character override here, here's our fonts, here's our font effects. I could do things here changing around the font effects so you can see kind of what I can do. Now, unfortunately, there's not a specific apply to it, so I don't really like the gold. Let's just go back to automatic. But I might want to do something like embossing it. You can see our preview here, or engraving it. You can see our preview over here. So I can add any of these types of adjustments to this that I might want to do, and it doesn't matter what I do, what type of character styles I select, it's always going to have that little piece of overriding there. Now that can frustrate you if you've forgotten you've done an overriding. So how do you actually change the overriding back? Well, if you were to check the default style, for example, let's see, I can't check the default style. Let's go to this style here because I can modify it. If you were to check your modifiers and you look in your font effects, and you can see that it says relief without, effects without, whatever else, well, that actually kind of means that this is being overwritten. All right. So to do that, override it back, you have to go back down, just highlight only the parts that you have, highlight your character, and now you'll kind of see that this is where all of our style effects were at to begin with. I'm just kind of experimenting here to see if there's any of these I'd actually like to do. Let's go ahead and give this like a little bit of a gray. That's actually not too bad. I don't know. I'll sit on that for a couple days and see if that looks fascinating or not. But what you can do is come back up here and override your styles back. If you were to set this back without, basically turn everything back off. Now it goes back to whatever the default character styles or paragraph styles you happen to have. So you can do this with overriding individual blocks of text. I've actually done this before on overriding just part of what I had up in a up in some text. This is a bad example because in that case I had a separate header text for the left page and the right page, but I wanted to have half of the font being one font and half of it being the other font. So I actually did a text override in that case. I think that was on the book I Am Not Amused. So that's how you can do your individual styles. Now, when do you do that? You really only do that in cases where it doesn't make sense to have a separate predefined style. In other words, you don't want to overdo it because it's going to be very cumbersome to work with, but you don't want to make an individual character style for every single nuance inside of your book. So it's kind of a balancing act to decide what is the best way to do it, what is not the best way to do it. So that is hopefully how you can add and remove very specific character styles. Again, just a recap going under your format. Anything you do under these formats will override whatever is in your selected character defaults and will persist if you change your character defaults to something else. Any overrides will still be applied. So hopefully that is helpful for you as you are fine-tuning your manuscripts. Let me know the various things that this helped you on, and also give me some other things that you'd like to see in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Give me some likes or dislikes if you like in the comments down there. And I hope that we have taught you how to get your writing done right.